Our top story is about this as markets shed trillions of dollars with more volatility today over the tariffs. And also this, these massive protests against Trump over the weekend, hundreds of thousands, the largest single day of coordinated action against Trump in this young second term. Wall Street trading and grassroots protests may seem like very different lanes. And yet they both reflect, when you think about it, the views of very large groups, both rejecting this Trump agenda, having seen it play out in reality across these 75 days or so. The $6 trillion market slide is a clear rejection of Trump's economic and tariff plans. The protests reflect opposition to a much wider set of policies, including maybe economics, but also clearly, from listening and watching and covering these protests, to immigration, to slashing government, to lawless acts. And public opinion shows many people oppose Trump's actions and governing approach in this rocky beginning of the second term. We're tracking all of these forms of opposition tonight. And I'm going to walk through with you right now the evidence, what we have, what we're seeing, about how this could actually reshape this young presidency. How these lanes of very different groups of people all speaking, though, towards one direction, towards trying to combat what Trump is doing, to stop or change some of his actions, to see, can he really get away with this, like this, for this long? This could all catalyze even more powerful pushback. It's been, in that vein, another wild day on Wall Street to start the week. Trump on defense over the flagging trade war, which is hurting America more than it's helping America. There's no real disagreement about that fact. And there are concerns tonight the worst could still be yet to come. The tariff failure risking a full-blown recession.
Markets have been extremely volatile all morning, plunging, surging, and then tumbling again.
Asian and European markets are also reeling from the Trump tariff. Stocks in Hong Kong had their biggest one-day drop in nearly 3 decades.
Trump's trade war wiping trillions of dollars in value from these markets. It's been extraordinary. It's been volatile. It's changing by the minute.
Where will we go today? Right from the get-go, we're going down. We're off 1,090 points.
The methodology that was used has been universally derided as being non-serious.
Economic Armageddon. You're not feeling too good about anything, are you?
The dumping of so many American stocks reflects what I mentioned, the combined views of many, many investors rejecting Trump's economic actions. Even some normally pro-Republican CEOs now warning this is the Trump recession, given his policies that are driving rising prices, inflation, and what could become massive job losses in America when companies lose this much value. The Trump slump is $6 trillion lost and counting just in the last week. It's hard to get your head around these numbers. Today, we saw wild volatility in some of the markets, responding to both real evidence-based fears, seeing what's happening and how it could get worse, as well as all kinds of rumors, which had the stock sort of spiking briefly and falling again. But I'm going to walk through exactly what we know here after the closing bell. The value of the largest 500 companies is down over 10% in 3 trading days, volatile, and then closing today similar to Friday's drop, you can see there. The Dow down 10% across those 3 trading days. It fell another point today. Markets are not the entire economy. But these kind of massive swings, giant swings, you say, oh, we're going 4, 5, 6 trillion. You get up to 7 trillion. It doesn't fit in the box. We're well past a correction, and we're into larger risks. These are the kind of swings that do drive the real economy. The experts say recession far more likely because of Trump's actions. That risk rising to 45%, according to the insider bank Goldman Sachs. Other estimates have it even higher, going more likely than not. And Trump is driving concerns to continue. He's warning of more tariffs on China to start the week, as many countries work on their own retaliation plans that will target the American consumer. Now, this rejection of Trump's policy is so broad, it's actually hard right now to find public defenders for what he's doing on Wall Street. I mean, he has employees, of course. He has paid spokespersons. They have to defend Trump or get fired. But if you broaden out to even his most loyal sort of partisan business allies, some of whom obviously float above the rules of a normal employee, even they're pushing back. Elon Musk losing many billions right now, and he's publicly opposing Trump's tariffs, saying Europe and the U.S. should actually move in the opposite direction, ideally to, quote, a zero tariff situation, a free trade zone between Europe and North America. He adds, that has certainly been my advice to the president. Or take a very vocal MAGA Wall Street titan, Bill Ackman. You may recognize him a bit or know his name. When you look at those Wall Street hedge fund and big sort of masters of the universe, to use the old novelistic phrase, he's been really atop them in the recent era, last year or two, as the MAGA guy. And he recently specifically endorsed Trump's economic plans after the election.
We're stepping into, I would say, the most pro-growth, pro-American administration I've perhaps seen in my adult lifetime, certainly. I would say everyone is incredibly enthusiastic, really about a new administration that's about efficiency, removing the impediments to growth, deregulation. President Trump will do nothing that interferes with the success of the country, the success of the economy.
Quite the embrace. Now Ackman says Trump is making the ultimate blunder for the success of the country and the economy, self-inducing what he calls the economic equivalent of a nuke, blaming Trump for a, quote, self-induced economic nuclear winter. Trump policies destroying confidence in our country as a trading partner, as a place to do business. Now, that billionaire's analogy might sound a bit extreme, equating these costs with the death toll of nuclear war, but his point is that Trump's policy here is so obviously bad on the evidence, on what we know about economics and the foreseeable results of the $6 trillion we just lost, that it's so extreme and dangerous it could hurt hundreds of millions of people for years, not a month or two, for years. Now, economists agree on that point if Trump is stubborn and ignores the reality and costs and presses on with this. Some of it, even if he presses on and then tries to dial it back, will not be easily reversed. Again, Ackman saying this will, the nuclear winter, as he calls it, take potentially years or decades to rehabilitate, potentially decades to rehabilitate. That's a lot of economic pain. Most of it hits working people the hardest. They have the leanest savings or no savings or live on debt, so they can't just afford a recession and live on like normal. And I want to show you tonight, right now, I mentioned we're going to go through the multiple lanes, and I'm going to get to those national protests, which are significant and are a different metric for what we're seeing across all the measurable ways Americans are perceiving this. But before I go any further, I just want to point out this nuclear winter concern is a long ways from Mr. Ackman's Trump guarantee that I showed you that was just 116 days ago.
President Trump will do nothing that interferes with the success of the country, the success of the economy.
It's a long ways from saying Trump will do nothing that interferes with the success of the American economy to what Mr. Ackman now updates as, his words, the risk of a nuclear winter. Now, that's just from Trump's boosters, and many thought they'd be getting richer, or at least do no harm, a, quote, pro-business administration. But like so many other people who listen to Trump's words without really understanding what's happening, even the very smart and the very rich, they now have buyer's remorse. So we have this broad, stark rejection of Trumpism from his own allies, from the Wall Street bankers, and from the CEOs who are actually living through the first waves of this, which may not be the last. Then, as I mentioned to you, there are the millions of Americans who didn't choose this to begin with, who didn't believe everything Trump said or think that someone who promises you a better economy, along with the other things we know about him, was going to give you a better economy. There are people living with the consequences regardless of how they voted, and many people don't vote but are living through this. And while the market reaction is confined to economics, Wall Street has a one-track mind, and under law, business leaders have a legal duty, by the way, to put money above everything else in how they invest or run a company. So investors and hedge funds they're dropping out of American stocks because of what Trump is doing, undercutting the value of those stocks. Then the broader Trump rejection is by these other huge, massive groups of people. This weekend's protests saw what that looks like. People, even amongst all this tumult and all the other issues going on in their own lives and obligations and jobs, taking time for massive gatherings like you see here in Boston, huge crowds in New York, showing an energy that could be tapped for any number of political movements. Doesn't need to be partisan, doesn't need to be Democratic, by the way. It might just be a people's movement against some of these excesses that apparently now the protesters and the bankers agree on. This rebuts some of the Washington talk we've heard about a resistance that is over or tired. And while some could dismiss even these large crowds as confined to liberal or East Coast areas, the protests, we can report, hit every state. Here are some of the enormous crowds we saw in Colorado and in cities all over the country: Minneapolis, Oklahoma, Davenport, South Dakota, with many pretty informed people this weekend speaking out.
When they come for one of us, they come for all of us.
I vote for Trump is not what I vote for.
The Republican Party in this country has to get a backbone and stand up to get Trump.
Trump got elected, all our savings are gone.
He wants to step into our Social Security check and all these things is not nice.
We're in a world of hurt right now as a country. Everybody's got to stand up.
Do whatever we need to do to make sure that we can keep our democracy.